Another way to look at being single and lonely.
You know what? I have a list. These are all men who have had divorces initiated against them. Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Dr. Dre, Ryan Reynolds, Tom Brady, Lance Armstrong, Alex Rodriguez, Channing Tatum, Chris Rock, Ben Affleck, Chris Pratt, Liam Hemsworth, Ben Stiller, David Duchovny, Orlando Bloom, Tiger Woods, Sean Penn, Sylvester Stallone, Paul McCartney, Ryan Felipe, Jason Momoa, Michael Jordan. In any case, these are all very attractive men, high status men, wealthy, and even they can't keep a chick. So me as I consider myself like kind of a normal dude. I think, bro, if Brad Pitt can't keep a chick, I'm fucked. You know what? I have a...
And of course, they don't care. Of course, those women don't care. They're just like, whatever, because they're solipsistic. They can't see past their own nose. They don't care about men. Most women just don't care about men. And what we go through. So he just listed like a dozen, at least, maybe 15 celebrities. High echelon, highest of the high in every regard. Professional sports, professional comedian, top level, highest of the highest level actors, all got divorces. And the divorces were initiated by the woman. And imagine the damage and the loss behind that. You could be like, oh, these are celebrities, blah, blah. Well, maybe. But you could also say divorce is still at 50%, still between 40 and 50% for regular, normal people, right? So you would think that maybe guys who have it together to such an extent, you know, they got the wealth, they got the looks, they got the success, but it still doesn't keep a woman. So what does that tell you? It tells you a couple things. First of all, you can't trust getting married. Just because you get married doesn't mean it's going to last forever, doesn't mean it's going to last long. I read that the average marriage that ends in divorce, it's about 9 years. So you got about 9 years and it might end in divorce. What else does that tell us? It tells us that money, wealth, status, fame, and good looks don't necessarily ensure you're going to have a successful, loving marriage. So guys out here who are black-pilled, who are all like, oh, I'm not good looking enough, I don't make enough money. Well, let's say you were. Let's say you did make enough money and you were super hot and you did get girls. That doesn't mean you're going to have a good relationship. It doesn't mean you're going to find love, right? It doesn't mean your relationship's going to last. There's people out here who are good looking and just can't get any satisfaction when it comes to relationships. Sure, they can get laid, they can get a boyfriend or a girlfriend here or there, but you got serial daters out here. You got daters out here who are women and men out here who just jumping from guy to guy, jumping from girl to girl. Well, yeah, maybe they're getting sex, you know, okay, that's something. It's better than what a lot of men are getting. But do they have love? See, we think, oh, you know, if only this and this, if this were better, if this was better, then my life would be so much better, you know. Enjoy what you got, man. Enjoy what you got where you're at. Okay, yeah, you're lonely because you want a woman. Okay. But look at this. Look at all the divorce. Look at all the unhappy people who are supposed to be super happy. This is what we were brought up to believe. Oh, they're celebrities. They must be so happy. They must be so... Their lives must be so amazing. Well, maybe they got all the toys, you know. Maybe they got all the money and the houses and whatever. And sure, I'm sure that can make them happy to an extent. You know, they got freedom and things like that. So they're better off than we are, absolutely. Maybe, but doesn't necessarily mean they have God. Doesn't necessarily mean that how you know how you live in this life isn't necessarily going to translate how you live in the next life. You know. And if you don't believe in that, then all right, then I guess you could just be like, oh, nothing matters. Then I guess nothing matters, and just go crash out or do whatever, but go live your life. But I believe in the next life, and I think that just because you're satisfied or you get everything you want in this life doesn't mean it's going to translate over to the next life, first of all. Second of all, in a sense, you could look at it like God's looking out for you. You know what I mean? Like, there's a couple things I could say on that. There's this one meme that I saw a while ago. It said, someone once gave me a box full of darkness, and I've come to realize that too was a gift. Something like that. There's a quote, you could Google it. But it's an interesting way to look at pain. It's an interesting way to look at suffering and loneliness and abandonment, because those are things that a lot of people experience in life. I don't care how popular you are now. Are you going to be that way in 5 years? Are your friends going to stick by you? Is there really such a thing as love and loyalty and things like that? And I would say it's there. You can find it, and you can achieve things in life, but I think for the most part, God's the only one who sticks with us. God's the only one who is really down for us when nobody else is. And if you're lucky, your family. And if you're really lucky, friends. Finding a good friend is very difficult. But another way to look at it, being single, and particularly in this day and age with, women behaving the way they are, and of course, it's not to say that all these celebrities were saints and they didn't do any messed up stuff. The men, I'm sure maybe they cheated, or maybe they weren't emotionally available, or it just goes to show that money doesn't solve all your problems. Wealth and fame doesn't solve all your problems. At least it doesn't solve the problem of love. Maybe you could go buy a jet ski and be happy as shit in a couple hours because you're riding around on a jet ski. I was driving the other day, and yesterday, actually, I think was it yesterday? I think it was the day before yesterday. I was driving, and I was looking out on this lake, and this guy was doing donuts in a jet ski, and I was like, man, I bet he's happy as hell, and he looked happy. I was like, man, I wish I had a jet ski, but sure, it can buy you that. Sure, you can fly, you can get on a jet and get catered to, and maybe even, rent an escort and have a fun time. But, at the end of the day, you got to come home and lay into bed alone, and you don't have anyone to really hold and hug and love you. And I don't know, man. There's that, but then there's also the fact that sometimes, when you got nobody to be with you, God's looking out for you. He's like, look, these friends you thought you had, they're not really your friends. They don't really have your best interests at heart. This woman who you thought you loved, she didn't really love you as much as you love her. And she cheated on you and you didn't even know it. Or she was planning on cheating on you, or she was looking for another guy, or she has the wrong kind of heart. I've often thought that God didn't allow me to be with certain women that I wanted to be with because he was looking out for me. He was looking out for me. He was like, those women are not the ones, Now, of course, I could say, like, man, he could have brought me somebody, and he didn't. So it is what it is. I'm not going to cry about it. I still believe in God. There's nothing I can do. What am I going to do? Get mad at him, shake my fist at him? There's nothing I can do. He's God. I'm not. I gave my life to him, and he chose to take me on a different type of route than I wanted to go. I wanted to go a certain way, and he chose to take me a different way. I asked for certain things, and he chose not to give me those things. Okay. What am I supposed to do? Cry about it? I can't shake my fist at him. I can't cry to him and have change his mind. It is what it is, I petitioned, I prayed for things, but also, I was with certain types of women, and I was with women that I wanted to be with, and it just didn't work out. And he caused certain situations to happen where she met a certain type of guy, and it was just the timing made me think that he didn't want me to be with that woman because she didn't meet anybody as good as me before she met me, but then all of a sudden after she met me, she met this other guy who was way better than me or whatever, and all right, so I take that as a sign from God that he wanted me to not be with her, so he gave her something to leave me alone, right? It's just another way to look at things, and so this is kind of a cautionary tale in the sense that, we all grow up, particularly I think in the 90s, because I think that was where the 90s and the 2000s, I think celebrities were at their height, movie stars and entertainers and musicians and sports players were at their height. Nowadays it's a little different because there's the internet and there's social media and people are getting, random people can come out of nowhere and get famous and anybody can have a YouTube channel, et cetera, et cetera. So we don't worship celebrities as much as we used to. But I remember coming up in the 90s and 2000s looking at celebrities like, man, they're so lucky that, they were way more iconic back then. They were way more worshipped than they are now. They call them stars. I don't even know if they still even call them stars. They probably do, but they were really stars back then. Like they were they were almost aliens. They were angels practically. They were walking around. If you saw a celebrity, you would just freak out, and they experienced that where people would see them and, oh my God, you're so and so, I can't believe it. Imagine that's like meeting God or something. Like, like if you met God, oh my God, it's God, right? But this is how people treated celebrities, man, and it's just like, it's bananas. And then of course how women treat celebrities is funky. Excuse me. It's funky, right? Just how stricken and smitten they are by celebrities, and like, oh my God, I want to sleep with you right now, and kind of crap. And it's just weird. It's weirdo stuff, man. It's the world we live in. Is just disgusting in a lot of ways, But I remember this song, I forget, I think it was Snoop Dogg and it might have been Outkast or somebody. It's called Hollywood Divorce. I remember hearing it like back in 2009 or something like that, 2007, 2008. Anyway, 2007 maybe. Hollywood Divorce, and it was rapping about how people get divorced and stuff, and because you think this is what you think, because this is how they portrayed these celebrities, like, oh, they're so amazing, like, oh, they have these great lives and they got married, oh, they're just the greatest couple, and like these sick shows, like Inside Edition or Hollywood TV show or whatever, I don't even know what they're called anymore, but, and they had magazines and stuff, and it's like, you would just worship these celebrities, you would just follow them around and like, oh, what's this guy doing, what's Justin Bieber doing, what's so-and-so doing, what about Ben Affleck? What's he doing? Like these TMZ kind of shit. Like, it's just like, who cares anymore? They're just people who got famous and whatever. It's like, who cares? And you could look at Hollywood like it's a sick place, anyways. They're all Satanists and stuff. And anyway, I don't want to go down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole, but it's a sick environment, man. Stuff they got to do to get rich and famous, and just how fake they got to be, and just so it's not like these are the we used to treat them like they were the darlings of our society, like they were the role models of our society or some shit. And this is where you get all this like Hollywood activism bullshit and fake political correctness, and like Hollywood actors, being obsessed with politics and all this crap, talking about, I gotta speak up for this and da-da-da-da, and like, it's just weirdo stuff, man. It's weirdo stuff. And at the end of the day, like, these are not good people. These are not role models for the most part. I'm not saying none of them are good. I'm not saying they're like bad people per se. Some of them are, but it's not, I'm just saying they're not what they portrayed themselves as. They're not these role models, leaders of society or whatever. They're just people who got rich and maybe had to do some weird stuff to get to that position, and then they got egotistical and walking around, oh, I'm famous and I'm better than everyone else kind of stuff. These aren't role models, man. These aren't quality people. Like, you know, I mean, there's people that wake up every day and go save lives. We got firefighters out here, you know, we got teachers, we got people who are grinding to help, grinding every day, sacrificing their own selfishness, you know, to give back to the community, to help kids, to help poor people, to help sick people. Real in the trenches people doing that, you know what I mean? So this celebrityism crap, you know, let that die. Let that die. That's nothing. That's not real. That's not real life. And they can't even hold down families, a lot of them, you know? And it's just like, all right. So yeah, man, maybe it's a good thing that you're single, you know? We always look at, oh, it's bad, you know. Maybe it's a good thing, because God might be looking out for you so you don't have a divorce. God might be looking out for you so that you don't put yourself through the kind of wrenching pain that it is to be separated from somebody that you love because they cheated on you, or they decided they didn't love you anymore, or like all the reasons. Women are out here initiating at least 8 out of 10 divorces, 8 out of 10 divorces. That's mostly all women, man. So if there's gonna be a divorce, there's the probability is that she's gonna divorce you. And what's that gonna do to your mental health? What's that gonna do to your emotional health? You know? Anyways, man, we got to stay solid and keep up the good fight of the faith, you know? Be positive, be happy. Can't be out here feeling sorry for ourselves and crying and whining about stuff. You know, we speak the truth, but, you know, it's good to count your blessings. And a lot of times I'll sit back and I'll be like, you know what, even though I went through a lot of emotional pain with that breakup, I'm glad I'm not with that girl now. I think most, if not all, of the girls that I've dated and then had a bad breakup with and then look back, I'm like, man, she was not a good girl. She was not a good woman. Yeah, the sex was great. Yeah, we had a fun time. Yeah, it was titillating. It was exciting. We had this amazing chemistry, whatever, but then she did that, or then turned out she was gaslighting me, or turned out she was love bombing me, and this is who she really is, and then this, that, and the third, right? So I look back on a lot of my old relationships and I'm like, nah, man, I'm glad that didn't work out. We just weren't, she's just not, most of them are just not good humans. Most of them just don't have a good character, don't have good. Man, you want somebody who's gonna really love you. You want someone who's got a real good heart. You want someone who's a kind, genuinely good person. You just don't find that too often with these young women today. They're so jaded, they're so selfish, they're so narcissistic, they're so messed up in so many different ways. And I hope we can heal. I hope as a country we can move on from a lot of that stuff, you know, because I think a lot of it's just dead. A lot of it's, you know, not even worth mentioning anymore. You know, as far as, you know, it's not even worth. I hope that women are waking up and being like, you know what, this way that I was going, this selfishness, man, there's women out here who are into witchcraft, for real. Like, there's women out here who are into dark stuff, man, and they need to be saved. That, you know, they need to be healed. You know, how could they be good mothers when they have no morals, when they're just so sick and twisted, you know? And it's the future of our country, and we have a whole generation. I don't know if it's the baby boomers, Gen X, they've just failed. They've failed their daughters because they bought into the lies of feminism, and they bought into the lies of liberalism. And you got parents out here raising their daughters with no direction, with no training. Just go out and do what you want to do. This kind of do as thou wilt is the whole of the law shit. Do as thou wilt, which is just Satanism. Was that Anton LaVey or Aleister Crowley? I forget who coined that. But do as thou wilt is the whole of the law. That's Satanism, man. And it doesn't have to be those words exactly, but well, I heard a mother say recently, well, I just kind of let them raise themselves. I kind of let them choose what they want to do, and whatever they want, that's the best thing. And it's just like, no, it's not. What does the Bible say? It says, raise up a child in the way that he should go, and he will stick with it for the rest of his life. Train your child in the way that he should go, and raise him up in the right way, in the way of righteousness, in the way of knowing right from wrong. I can't tell you how many people I talk to today that don't know the basics of right versus wrong. They don't have any moral compass whatsoever. I mean, and it's like talking to somebody who doesn't understand colors, who is not colorblind, who could totally see but just doesn't understand colors, right? Somebody who, you're like, hey, this is green, and they're like, no, it's blue. Like, that's somebody who doesn't have any moral compass, who doesn't know the difference between right and wrong. Literally, you will like, no, this is obviously unrighteous. This is obviously not moral. And because they have no moral compass, they'll be like, no, it's fine. They just don't. It's bizarre. It's like talking to somebody. It's like handing somebody a piece of fruit or something and like, here, this is a banana, and they're like, no, it's an orange. You're just like, what are you talking about? It's clearly a banana. You don't know what a banana is? And they're like, I know what a banana is, but that's an orange. And you're just like, what? That's like talking to somebody, these people with no moral compass, and it's because how they were raised. I don't know if it's Gen X or boomers or but they're raising bad kids, man. I don't know. My mom taught me morals. My mom, at a young age, taught me right from wrong at a very young age. And she was serious about it. And she did a good job, and I'm thankful for it. She's got a lot of other flaws, but she did that and at a really young age, and it was the right age for whatever reason. It just stuck with me, and it just... Because I like I said, I can't tell you how many people who just can't even recognize right from wrong, don't even know what evil is, can't even recognize it, and that's, to me, is just so foreign. It's so weird. But yeah, we need to raise our daughters better, man, and hopefully they can repent. Hopefully they can salvage the rest of their lives, because I think we're coming into a time where a lot of the chickens are going to come home to roost. A lot of consequences are going to be coming about from a lot of this evil behavior that we've been tolerating as a nation. It's going to come back to us, man. It's going to come back to us one way or the other. And it's sad that so many young women have been corrupted, because these are supposed to be our mothers of the future. These are supposed to be raising good children for the future. So what's our next generation going to look like when our current generation is just so warped and so messed up? I don't know. It ain't good, man. It ain't good, but I can tell you one thing. It's not always a curse to be alone. It's not always a bad thing to be alone. It's not always what you think. It's not always what it seems, You can choose to be happy. You can choose to... And you don't have to be lonely. Go outside. Go find a cat to pet. You know what I mean? That's what people used to do before the internet. Used to go outside and go for walks. Go make a friend, you know what I mean? Doesn't even have to be a human. Go make a friend with a neighborhood cat. Cats are friendly as hell, Go enjoy a walk in nature and just, appreciate the world that God created for us, instead of sitting around stewing all the time and crying about things. And okay, well, these young, haughty, messed up, haughty, I say HAUGHTY, haughty is a great word for young women today. These young, haughty, messed up, damaged, sleeping around women. Okay, you wanted a wife, and that's what that's what's out there. These young, messed up women. Well, it's good, let them go ruin themselves, you know what I mean? Let them go ruin themselves, and you just find a hobby. You just enjoy your life, chill, All right, you don't want me? Cool. I'll sit back and I'll enjoy my painting, or I'll enjoy my writing, or I'll enjoy my exercising, or I'll enjoy my hiking, or I'll just chill and enjoy nature. I don't need all that. I don't need the headache. I don't need a divorce in 10 years. I don't need to be all worried about how I'm going to impress you, and hopefully she still really likes me, and hopefully I can like how some of these guys, these yes men, these cuck husbands act around their wives, who totally have all the power in the relationship. Their wives run the show. Like, I'll be single, man. That's cool. All right, yeah, I'm lonely. Yeah, that's a suffering, but at least I don't compromise my integrity. At least I don't compromise my self-worth. And at least I'm not getting divorced. You know what I mean? All right, I'm single, never been married. Well, at least I've never been divorced. At least I don't have a bunch of kids, putting them through a divorce. Or, I see this I see all the time. At least my kids have a good, at least I don't have kids who have a bad mother. If I had kids, I would say at least, I'd hope the mother would be a good mother. But it's better than the alternative, which is divorce and putting kids through a bad relationship and stressed out, and you age 10 years. You age 10 years and through a 2-year divorce, and you lose your heart, you lose your love for life, and it can just totally demoralize you, totally change your entire outlook on life. All of a sudden you become pessimistic, you're bitter. And we've already been through that, red pill guys, because we've been hurt, in bad relationships, or rejected in cruel ways, how women do, So we've got some of that. So we got a taste of that. We know what that's like. But you can count your blessings if you're not married, because you never went through a horrible divorce yet. Yes, yet, but you never went through a horrible divorce. Enjoy your life, man. Stay young, stay youthful, laugh a lot, be happy, practice being happy. Who is it? Voltaire, who, the philosopher Voltaire, who said, I have decided to be happy because it's good for my health. I have decided to be happy because it's good for my health. There you go, man. Be happy. This is something I used to be super depressed, man, and one thing that's helped me throughout the years is just laughing, watching comedy. I mean, so many funny meme channels, meme video channels out there. So many funny cartoons, funny movies. Man, I went through a period of deep depression when I was younger, and one of the ways I got out of it was laughter. I just started laughing a lot. I started reading funny things, watching comedy shows. I laughed a lot. Really helped me a lot. Helped me heal. So in a sense, count your blessings that you haven't had to go through all that, man. But anyway, I just want to show you that video, talk about it a little bit. Appreciate y'all listening. Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.